I think this season is easier to watch in a way because last season it was an intellectual jump, hopefully, that audiences had to make. In other words, it was about, murder. It was about drug addiction. It was about illegal drugs. It was about dark, dark subjects that, on the whole, most people hear about through the news or those kinds of things. So it was an intellectual thing. This season, it's about community and family and education and sexual orientation and sexual assault. These are things that are much closer to home that most of us can go, oh, if I haven't experienced that, I know of a friend, or yes, my kids are at school, or whatever it is. So that's easier to follow. So getting back to the tweets, in terms of the sexual assault, a lot of what I hear is, I'm so glad people are talking about male rape. And I'm so glad that this is being put to the forefront. And I know someone that happened to, or yes, that happened to me. And so I think it's a relief and a happiness for that. And I think it's also, in a tangential way, people are responding to, what do you fight for? And what's your identity? And that you have a very affluent African American family who you see a very powerful woman, played by the wonderful Regina King, who is looking out for her own. And is she right to do that, to look after her own? Does that say something about race or color, or does it just say something about motherhood? And then you have a white woman, me, looking after her school and only looking after her school. Does that say, is she right? Is she wrong? So I think it brings up questions, as they all are, which are interdigitating of race, of allegiance, of what's right. And those are all conversations that I see on the Twitter sphere, whatever it is. And also just how great the young actors are in it. I mean, wouldn't you say they talk a lot about how great the actors are? I mean, Connor Jessup and Joey Polari and Angelica Rivera. I try and just tweet during the commercial breaks. So people aren't kind of going, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, there are pros and cons. You kind of have to get ready for the criticisms, and people are allowed to criticize and say what they like and what they don't like. So I just kind of have to brace myself for that. But I think people want to have a conversation while it's going on, particularly since it's so inciting. And I think that's really cool to get, and I think it also instigates conversation of ways that people wouldn't think too. They're just watching the story, and it's not until someone reads a tweet or writes a tweet and goes, yeah, is it right that Regina is advising her son not to help the other players? Is that correct, Act? What does that say about race? What does that say? Do you trust Leslie? Why do you not trust Leslie, but you do trust, let's say, Lily Taylor's character, the wonderful Lily Taylor? Is it because she's a victim? Do you, when the story got turned on its head, it says rape, and then it got turned on its head and you go, oh, a boy got raped. There was a lot of thing of like, whoa, I didn't expect that to be coming. And what are your preconceived prejudices about that? If it's a girl, of course the guy is guilty. If it's a guy, of course the guy's not guilty. So the good thing about tweeting is it starts a conversation and it starts people thinking deeper about the story.